Hello folks, my name is George Almodovar. I am a realtor and author of the novice and making millions in real estate. Today's topic is how to collect rent from your tenants. Now, there are many ways to collect rents from your tenants. When I first got started, obviously I was a new jack. I got started collecting rent. I would go and knocking on the door. Where's my money? Okay, and it was all great and dandy, but a lot of times I noticed that I lost a lot of time, gas, and money going to places where the tenant subset wasn't even there. They created issues. So I thought I became smart and I started my own property management company, started managing properties and rentals. Now, the way I used to collect rent after that was I will have someone else go and collect the rent for me, saving me time to do other things and invest money and buy other properties and so forth. And that was great and dandy. However, the problem with that is that you got to be careful who you have as an employee. You can do your background check. You can know the person. Sometimes good people turn bad, or people are going through necessities, and that could be an issue. For instance, there were some instances from my own experience where I noticed there was money missing. Then you have an issue as the tenants claim that he gave the money to the manager, and the manager never deposited the money in the bank account. Okay. By the way, I have a business bank account where all the rents go into that bank account. Okay, you not put the money in an individual account, put it in a bank account. But anyway, I went through this through a couple of employees trying to collect rent from these tenants. There were other issues where, again, there was either money missing, or it was short, or they would use the money to buy other stuff for the offices without my consent. So there was things that I didn't like. Okay, so it got to the point that I not only fired a couple of people because of that, but eventually I made it the tenant's responsibility to deposit the rents in my business checking account. So it became their responsibility when the rents was due to go to Chase, in my instance, and deposit the rents directly. So that way they have a deposit slip. On the deposit slip, it will show what property are they from, what rental unit, and obviously shows the amount. So if there's any discrepancies regarding rents being missing, I know whether they pay or not by looking at my checking account. And it's submitted right automatically within a couple of minutes. Now, if there's any issues or discrepancies, the tenant has a copy of the deposit slip to prove that he paid the rent. Because there was a fact, one of my tenants went and deposited the rent, and actually he thought he paid, but what happened was he deposited the rent to someone else's account, not mine. This is why I started sending them deposit slips with the business name, and it has the account number and everything already on there, so there's no excuse. Now, I started doing recently something more, what I think was more efficient for me and better, which is they were complaining that they had to go to the bank and so forth, and everyone always having excuses for not paying rent. So what I did was, actually, there's a tab on a Chase account, which anyone can use, by the way. It doesn't matter what bank account you're banking with. Okay, in which you can do what is called, and I wrote it down, as quick pay. And basically what that is that you have your email, and that email is linked to your banking account. Now, all it requires is the routing number and the bank account number. So basically, all I have to do through Chase, I log on, go quick pay, and write down the email of the person. That person register with the email to his bank account, which is the routing number and checking account. And then anytime I want to collect rent, send money, or pick up money, I send an email. He clicks on the email, and all he has to do is accept payment or accept receipt. So you can either send or receive. And by the way, you can also make it automatically. So therefore, he doesn't even have to respond. All he has to do is automatically those bank will generate the rent revenue every month. Okay, and that's basically it. So that helps me out because eventually I get people to pay me rent on time by using a simple smartphone or by going on their laptop or computer and responding to an email. Now, I'm going to give you an advice. If I see that within the 5-day period they have not paid, this is nothing personal. I quickly start eviction procedures. They get a notice of demand for payment. Okay, and I start eviction right away because don't take it personal. But sometimes if you don't do that, you're going to have tenants living off of you for many months by the time you realize it's time to take action, and by then you lost a lot of money. So make sure you notify this to all the tenants when they come in as prospect tenants and let them know you have 5 days to pay your rent. If you don't pay your rent by 5 days, there's a late charge. In my case, $45. Now, I learned from someone else that they actually go above that. If they are 2 weeks behind, they start accruing a $10 late charge every day to compensate for the mortgage being late or legal expenses, because you know you will have to hire an attorney to evict the tenant. You could do it yourself, but it's a lot easier to have an attorney do it for you, especially when you live, like in my case, in Florida, and I have properties in New York. So again, the quickest way is Quick Pay from Chase. Doesn't matter what bank you bank with, you could charge them their rent through Quick Pay, send them out an email, they respond by simply clicking on it, and the money's transferred over. That way they have no excuse of not going to the bank or not having the time or whatever the case they may conjure up. Alright, so I hope this helped. Remember, my website is www.familyhomesforsale.com. Thank you very much and have a blessed day. Bye bye.